Anyway, set back and watch the movie. Do like a
My
director's cut.
family, the house of Scipii, are beloved of the gods. A proud boast, but true, all the same. In return, we have served Rome, ruled well, led her armies to glory. It has cost us dearly, despite the love of
You don't see those
gods.
types of legions until, you know, midway through the game.
Sometimes
Although
the
as a
hatred of
Scipii,
men
you
is
see them particularly
stronger.
if you play as a Bruto. Because
Our
whenever the
dead
player gets a huge
lie
city.
in many graves, put there by Carthaginian swords. and
Well,
a
the
few
first
great
Roman player
ones.
to get the huge city
Even
unlocks the
Roman
barrier in
barons
the
have
fort.
taken Scipii lives. That we do not forget.
I always talked about how Romans have betrayed Scipii before.
Now our time
It's
has
just the Roman
come.
Republic.
The spirits of the dead cry out for blood. I will lead our family in this undertaking. The gods will grant us vengeance.
I don't know what happened there.
When Sicily is Roman,
Oh, that's-
when
I never
Carthage
really
is
used it, and
crushed,
honoured it as well.
when the other
I don't
Roman
really build up
families
to
are
it, it
gone,
slows me down too
when
much.
the world is mine, then I will stand before the gods and be worthy of their love, and worthy to rule Rome.
Well, there we go. Alter sedet civilis vulneria dextri. Deep are the wounds that civil strife inflicts. This is true. There's trouble with civil wars is you kill more of your own guys than anybody else's. Assuming, you know, because you're all fighting your own guys. One critical flaw of the Roman system is the amount of ambition that it engendered was it spent more time fighting amongst itself. I'd say over the course of its history, it spent more time fighting amongst itself than it did anybody else. Anyway, first task to take Syracuse, or Syracuse. I believe this was where where the Greek settlements under Draco existed, whose harsh laws we know today from the adjective draconian. I believe that was in that kind of region anyway. I may just be sort of making stuff up. This is going to be a tough battle, so I'm going to take as many troops as I can from as many places as I can.
Boarding. Yes, Captain. Moves completed, sir.
We already have started to do garrison duty, so peasants will do that just fine. I don't see the point in town watch myself,
General.
but maybe that's just me. Send some spies in, see what's going on. So they've got their factionaire, which is pretty dangerous. Hoplites, militia hoplites, more hoplites, peltasts, and archers. Which means it's going to be quite difficult to take.
Sir.
Anyway, it's for the build queue. Ports. Because ports bring trade income, and trade income is nifty. Yeah, trade income is, by the end of the game, your main source of income. If you've got a large empire with quite a lot of ports and a few trade right agreements with people, you make money hand over fist, and it becomes a problem having to spend it all. You can't have too much money in the bank, otherwise you start getting nasty character traits in your generals. Become avaricious and greedy and spoiled. Not that really, not that it really matters. Any some. Anyway, yeah, here's how the map looks. We've got the Julia over there. I imagine they're going to go for whatever this place is called, Sardinia, first, and then turn their efforts to Segesta or Segesta. Although I could be wrong. And of course, the Brutii have been tasked with Apollonia. I know that because I've played this game too much. So let's just stand there and do a bit of saber rattling. Wait for that army to turn up. And
Can I be of service?
I don't know, can he be of service? I'm not sure he can, really. I want to make some trade rights with somebody, so I might head off and wait for a ship to come and have some trade rights with Macedon. Because of course there's no point making trade rights with the Greeks because I'm about to declare war on them. And with turn 1 out of the way, and still nothing doing, we'll see how we go from there. Oh, I know what I forgot. Taxes. Tax and spend. Very high tax rate. Tax and spend. Tax and spend. At least I'm making a profit now. What was it doing before? Yeah, it's making a loss. What's all that about? Quite a significant loss as well. So look at the financial report.
Ready to sail. Aye, aye, Captain.
So that's quite an impressive army.
General. Prepare for battle. Besieging settlement, sir.
Oh, as if I'm aspired to open the gates. I don't like siege towers. They take too long to do anything. I'd rather just build a multitude of ladders. See, now I'm curious as to where his troops have gone. Because you saw last turn, didn't you? He had about 8 units in there. It's down to 2 now. Not that I mind. I'd rather face them in an open field rather than anywhere else.
Ready to sail. Aye, aye, Captain. Moves depleted, sir.
Oh, I might see if I could be cheeky and steal. Yeah, new plan of action. I'm going to try and steal Sardinia off of the Carthaginians before the Julii get there, because I'll only have to end up taking it anyway once the civil war happens. Oh, look at the recruitments. I can't do anything there. And I see the place could recruit Hastati. The worst troops you can field. Ah. Well, they made that so much easier. Oh, what's the Senate have to say about stuff? Senate policy towards the Greeks. After due and careful deliberation, the senators decided that these people deserve to be treated with a degree of hostility while not going so far as declaring war. How the hell am I supposed to take a city without declaring war? Senate certainly feels there's no way to treat these people with anything that can be construed as justice or fairness. Ugh. Bunch of clueless old men. Look at them all. With his, he looks almost dead, he does. And that fellow over the top there. They've got no idea what's going on. What about the Carthaginians? Oh, can declare war on the Carthaginians. But just you wait. As soon as I declare war on the Carthaginians, they'll be like, oh no, we didn't mean to declare war. Okay, the plebs don't like me. Nobody likes me. The Senate are indifferent, probably after that rant I gave about them. The plebeians hate you. More than that, the plebeians hate all your friends, and their pets, slaves and hangers-on. That's just how unpopular you are. Yeah, well, bread and circuses. I don't need to be popular with the riffraff. Popularity with the plebs. Okay, so I've got two ports now. I've also offended everybody lower than the lower middle class, like worldwide, by calling them all riffraff. But it's their fault for not liking me. What are we doing? Oh, I was looking at how much money that's going to make me. Wrong button. That's the one. Woo! 466. I'm going to build a trying to Neptune in Capua and nowhere else, because it allows you to build a special type of ship like after you get a Quimmarine, it's like a Trireme but better. One more, in fact. The Masana Shrine to Vulcan. You can't see it now, but I'm doing the thing, you know, where you put your 2 fingers one side and the other side, the Vulcan salute or whatever it is. I believe the neoconservatives in America called themselves Vulcanites for a time, or Sons of Vulcan or something like that, which oh, yeah, it goes to show something. The neocon cabal in the Bush White House was, you know, certainly classically educated, if nothing else. So here we go. I'm going to attack Sparta. No, Syracuse, eh? Or Syracuse. And I'm going to give you the option of skipping this battle and just sort of going off to the end. So if you want to skip this battle and watch me not flounder around, because you're in a hurry and I've already wasted 5 minutes and nothing's happened yet, just click the area around there, just sort of over here somewhere. Otherwise, stick around. There's a battle coming up. I hope I win it because it's 5-1. Oh, I love a good war. Constant exposure to dangers will breed contempt for them. Thank you, Seneca. Or Seneca. Or, it is Seneca, isn't it? It's taken a long time because I've actually got to build the city. It's one of the biggest cities you'll come across in the early game. Look at that.
But his vision is clouded. Today we make our own destiny then.
We make our own destiny.
Do not fear these over-nice Greeks. They have come to fight, it is true. But they will only stay to die. They have been lulled into a false sense of security by a few feet of defensive wall. That will protect them.
It's almost inspiring at first speech, isn't it?
I hope to give them a nasty surprise.
We few, we lucky few. We band of brothers.
Romans, I say this. Strength and honor to you all.
They seem to like it anyway. Right, we want some ladders there, some ladders there. I may have overdone it on the ladders. Is it possible to even overdo it on the ladders? Okay, so we've got to realise we're going to lose quite a few men to arrow fire. Because those towers are mean. Fine. Don't move where I tell you to. Unit. 2 generals. You know, like a regular consular army sometimes. What they would do, I suppose, if one didn't have a definite higher command rating, is they'd take it in turns. Like one day one person would command and the next day the other person would command. And, you know, that's a fairly standard procedure for armies right through, at least until the early modern period. Some of the campaigns with Duke of Marlborough during the War of the Spanish Succession. You have to be careful when he actually attacked to make sure that he was actually in command of the army, like on the day of the Battle of Blenheim and the siege of Scheldenberg, I think it is, in Bavaria. Because it was paired with... what are you doing? For God's sake, man. Oh well. Feel free to move at any point. Anyway, oh yeah, what was I saying? Who was he with? Something like Louis of Baden or something like that, who was nominally, you know, ranked higher than the Duke of Marlborough. At the time, he was the Count of Marlborough. Even when he was a duke, he would have been classed as higher than him because he was an electoral prince, so a sovereign prince in his own right. And of course, in those days, it was all about who you were and not what you could, and not what you were. I'm rambling, aren't I? I've got to do something while I wait for these people to scale the walls. Get on with it. I'm falling like flies.
Our ladders are in place, and our men are now attacking. Against courage, what use of walls?
That's 3% of the army. I tell you what, they must be sterner stuff than me. I wouldn't sit there and take arrow fire. But then again, everything about their culture was geared around being a warrior type people. It's all about being the sons of Mars.
Our ladders are at the walls. Now bravery and steel will be tested as our men fight over the defences.
Well, I don't know how they viewed the afterlife, but we do know, like the pagan Anglo-Saxons in the Nordic religion, you die with a sword in your hand, and you're going straight to Valhalla, where you can, spend eternity fighting and drinking and brawling and all that kind of stuff, day after day with no consequences. I mean, that's, it's a better afterlife than some I can think of, where you just sort of sit on a cloud and play a harp. I'd rather be drinking and brawling myself. But I kind of encourage people to go to battle, because you die with your sword in your hand is a far better way to die than any of them. Apparently a peaceful death led to a boring afterlife. So maybe it's in their kind of psyche to stand there. Or maybe it's sort of the culture they were brought up in. It's like, you've got to go to war, you've got to do this, you've got to sort of, you're geared into it. You spend every day of your life in a society that values war and dying in war. You're not going to have the same fear aspect and self-preservation aspect as a society of ours, which has seen the horrors of war, full mechanical war, and we're steadfastly opposed to it. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, here's what's happening in the battle. As far as sieges go, this is a bit like Luster. In the test game, they didn't move any troops out, so I had to contend with fighting for the walls and doing everything. And I had to... They rained fire down on me and all sorts.
Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
He can move over and capture these towers here. But I do feel it might be a little bit of overkill. And he didn't even bother with the ladders, so... So I've got 1 unit of hoplites and 1 unit of cavalry. Now to deal with the cavalry, I'm going to fight fire with fire on this one, I think. Because General's bodyguard will just mow through my Hastati. And this is what you can expect. They're young, they're inexperienced, they're poor, and of course in early Republican armies you had to buy your own armour. So, you can, what you can expect really. Well, you're probably better off than the archers or the velites. The velites are the worst of the worst. The job was there to set off fire for a bit, do a bit of skirmishing, and hopefully not get killed when the main battle starts. Okay, so here we are. One of the lessons I learned from last time I did this siege was not to bring your troops in piecemeal like I did. I brought in a couple of Hastati units at a time. And they all just got sorted out one by one. Okay. Let's get you over there. Oh, I'm right clicking and dragging. That allows you to set the thickness and the direction of where they'll stand. It's not foolproof, especially in siege situations. If you're walking down the street like this and you want to try and make that up, it's sometimes a bit awkward, especially if you wanted to turn a certain direction. So that's not doing anything. But never mind. And they're not moving. Right, I'm not going to risk the general because that has morale penalties if like the general dies mid-battle. Don't know what they're on with. They'll miss the fun. I'm going to say I've got a lot of respect for the early Republican army. I mean, most people, when you talk about Rome, will say that they prefer the imperial stage or the proper legions with the big shields and the cohorts and the centurions and the testudo formation. I like these guys better because those other guys are professional soldiers with no stake in society. These people are brought up from the land. They have to be a landowner to actually join the army, whereas after the Marian reforms, you got land after serving in the army. They're loyal to the state that they've come from, they're loyal to the land that they've come from. They're not professional soldiers. They'll turn into professional soldiers during the fighting, but as soon as the fighting is over, they go back to their land and become farmers again. They're farmer soldiers. Whereas later Roman Republic and Imperial Rome, the soldier class they're professional soldiers. They do it for a living. They're loyal to the general that serves them and who pays their checks. Maybe it's just like being overly sentimental about Republican virtues here. But I think, the Marian reforms essentially ruined the Roman army, I think. Listen to a podcast called Dan Carlin, talks about the fall of the Roman Republic. He said that the Marian reforms brought about the ruin of the Roman Republic, but without them, there wouldn't have been a republic to ruin. Which is a fair point. Well, the trouble with using farmer soldiers, such as these, is that how are you going to do garrison duty? These people want to go home to the farms. I mean, these people don't because they're just computer manifestations of people. They're drafted in for wartime, and I guess it makes the Romans a bit less belligerent than they would later be. You've got a professional army, you may as well put it to use. What kind of stupid arrangement is that? Feel free to fire at will. One of the most devastating things about Roman legionaries is the pila, or pilum, pila? The javelins they throw. Each one has two, and they disrupt the formation by sort of chucking the javelins. And they say, idea actually they borrowed from the Spanish. The Spanish, Scutari infantry or something like that. Yeah, they weren't great inventors, the Romans. They copied a lot of their ideas, but they knew how to adapt them. They copied Greek architecture. They were good engineers, good builders, good innovators, but they were good adapters, but not very good innovators. They weren't actually design much themselves, but they were good at borrowing from other cultures. How far can you throw? If I get these close enough and they just fire their missiles, I'll do quite a bit of damage without actually doing anything. Especially if I hit the general's bodyguard while the back is turned. Oh, here we go. defensive positions. And that general's bodyguard's just doing his own thing. Why not? He's just charging for, you know, the hell of it. And why not? I didn't ask him to do that. Didn't tell him to do that. What happened there? It is that sort of cinematic thing you're supposed to do when you kill the general, but I don't think I killed the general. Apologies for that. Now where was I? Oh yeah, I was trying not to get this general killed. There we go, that's the way to do it.
Praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
But now they've got the spears out. It's too late now. Now the routing's important. You won't do it while they're in the town square thing, but most casualties in sort of ancient battles were done during the routing stage. They chase them down, rout them down, and that's when most of the casualties were done. And that's kind of reflected in this game. You do a lot more kills when the enemy's running away and you're chasing them than you are actually doing this like meat grinder situation. There's 18 of them left, 16 of them left. Fighting to the last man.
The gods be praised!
May
hearts are full
as well end the battle. And here we are, clear victory.
Victory worthy of Roman arms!
Men deployed, the kills, they've got slightly more kills, but then again, assaulting a siege is very costly in lives, so that's quite a good sort of ratio. I also killed this factionaire, so you know, 3 men remaining. Take them prisoners, I suppose. And bang. And I'm feeling magnanimous, so I'm not going to loot the settlement or enslave it. What does the Shrine to Saturn do? Now they're useful in more distant territories. More bonuses are very good at knocking down corruption. But I'm all about the Temple to Vulcan. I'll do that one first because it's a larger settlement and it's kind of iffy in its loyalties. Still can't recruit anywhere apart from in Capua. And I'm just going to set the stage for.
Set sail! Yes. Boarding ship. Sir! Fleet ready! Fleet ready!
Let's see if we can steal Sardinia. Oh, what has the Senate got to say? Given the gift of 5,000 denarii. Thank you very much. And now everyone's at war with the Greeks. Best thing about being Romans, somebody's got your back. But you don't have to get their back. Yeah, you may as well have a couple of us started with you. And with that, I'm going to call this first episode to a halt because I realised I've been rambling on now for a fair amount of time. I might do a bit of cutting out, editing, but there we are. Second turn in, I've already taken somewhere. I might have to deal with that Greek army a little bit later, but in the meantime, I need a catch line that's Roman in nature to sign off on. And when I do, I'll use it. But for the meantime, I'll see you guys later.